Hi everyone, it's Alistair at lifeforcetraumahealing.com. I'm here with you today. I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between shame and carried shame. Two types of shame: healthy shame and toxic shame. Okay, this is also the sort of thing I teach on the healing trauma workshops that I run for people who want freedom from their childhood trauma that's still affecting them. Uh, the next one's in December, by the way. I'll tell you that at the end. So there's two types of shame. Now, believe it or not, all of our emotions have a positive purpose. Okay, anger helps us be empowered and protect ourselves and notice when our boundaries are violated. Fear helps us notice danger and run away or protect ourselves. Guilt helps us know when we've broken our own moral code, and that if we feel guilt, then we don't want to feel it because it's a horrible gnawing sensation in the gut. We want to, normally, so we want to change our behavior so we don't feel guilty again. Now, shame is an interesting one. Okay, so most people just think of shame as, I am worthless is shame, and what I've done is bad is guilt. But actually, the I am worthless type of shame is what we call carried shame. Healthy shame is when you're in a public situation and you do something that shows your fallibility as a human. Remember, we're all fallible as humans. We're all perfectly imperfect. So if I realize now I was doing a public speaking and I got a big bogey hanging out my nose and I didn't even realize, and suddenly I get a nosebleed in front of me, I get it all over my white shirt in front of lots of people, I will feel healthy shame. Okay, healthy shame lets me know I'm not perfect. I'm not a god. I'm not a goddess. I'm just a human being, perfectly imperfect. Okay, you've seen my fallibility. I'll feel humble. I'll feel embarrassed. I might have a red, flush of embarrassment. I might blush. Okay, that's healthy shame. It also tells me I need help. I can't do everything myself. It helps actually open the door to spirituality, that I need a power greater than myself to help me, even if it's just a group of other people. Is that power greater than myself? I can't. We can. Okay. Now, carried shame is where our major caregivers when we're growing up, or people who were less than nurturing to us, were either acting in a shameless way, so they weren't feeling shame. They were being abusive. They never apologized. They never tried to change their behavior, or too full of shame, and therefore weren't able to, were not able to be there emotionally. They would abandon someone emotionally, let's say, or do covert uh, abuse, which is things like enmeshment, where a major caregiver uses the child to meet their own needs rather than meeting the child's needs. Okay, so carried shame is shame that we've soaked up from other people growing up, and so when we're triggered by something in a here and now, if you've got a whole pile of carried shame and you do something like realize you've got a bogey hanging out your nose, or you trip over in front of someone, or you're late, or you do something imperfect, maybe stuttering and as you're trying to find a word doing a presentation, uh, it will trigger your healthy shame, but also this carried shame, and then boom, I am worthless. And when you're in that I am worthless carried shame, it is a trauma reaction. It shuts down the prefrontal cortex and the rational part of the brain, and it's like you regress to a younger age. Okay, so not only have we got to help inner child parts of us, younger parts of us who might, you know, who might be overwhelmed, frightened, ashamed, angry, full of guilt, things like that. We've also got to help get rid of this carried shame. Okay, and one way you can do that is if you're feeling an overwhelming feeling like shame, suddenly worthless, you can literally say, I give you back your shame, and then the first person's name that pops into your head. Okay, so if it's mum pops in, I give you back your shame, mum. I will not carry this shame for you. I give you back your shame. Big breath in. Blow that shame back to mum. Okay, or whoever it was. And if it's not yours, it will just disappear. It's a clue. It's carried shame. Now, with tapping that I also teach, you can be tapping the whole time you're doing this. So if you feel suddenly worthless. I give you back your shame, John. I give you back your shame, John. And it's gone. It goes. Okay, so that's a bit about carried shame. Now, I'm also going to talk in the next video about shame binds and how to break them. And a shame bind is where, let's say you've got a shame bind around self-esteem. If you said something like, I love myself because, or I genuinely appreciate myself because, then you'd suddenly have a shame attack and feel worthless. That's a clue there's a shame bind there. So how to heal from that and start breaking them, we'll cover in another session. So if you're interested in this work, in healing from the legacy of childhood trauma, please contact me. It's Alistair at lifeforcetraumahealing.com. There's a workshop the 3rd to the 5th of December near Greenwich in London. Feel free to contact me, and I wish you to have a wonderful day. Thank you.